in the association of so many standard for Bhagavatam classes wherein I just say very few words and then I go into discussions or if there are any questions, because actually this was Prabhupada's explicit desire and request that Bhagavatam classes should be very short, maximum 20 minutes. And I heard an interesting statement some time ago which says, never miss a good chance to shut up on time. So, and because we have so many very senior and experienced Vaishnavas, I'm sure that can be very productive and very interesting discussion. I'm sure much more interesting than just listening to myself. I do it all the time anyway. I know quite well what I can say. And so we will chant the Sanskrit first. Text 27. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Kamina Kripana Mukha. Kamina Kripana Mukha. Kamina Kripana Mukha. Kamina Kripana Mukha. Pushpeshu Phalabudaya. Pushpeshu Phalabudaya. Pushpeshu Phalabudaya. Pushpeshu Phalabudaya. Agni Buddha Dumatanta. Agni Buddha Dumatanta. Agni Buddha Dumatanta. Agni Buddha Dumatanta. Swam Lokamna Vidantite. Swam Lokamna Vidantite. Swam Lokamna Vidantite. Swam Lokamna Vidantite. Kamina Kripana Labdha. Kamina Kripana Labdha. Pushpeshu Phalabudaya. Pushpeshu Phalabudaya. Agni Buddha Dumatanta. Agni Buddha Dumatanta. Swam Lokamna Vidantite. Swam Lokamna Vidantite. miserly. Lubha, greedy. Pushpeshu, flowers. Halabudaya, thinking to be the ultimate fruits. Agni, by fire. Mugdha, bewildered. Dhumatanta, suffocating from smoke. Svam, their own. Lokam, identity. Navidanti, do not recognize. Then, they. Translation was purported by the disciples of His Divine Grace, Bhakti Rasayana Swami, Those who are full of lust, avarice, and greed mistake mere flowers to be the actual fruits of life. Bewildered by the glare of fire and suffocated by its smoke, they cannot recognize their own true identity. Purport. Those attached to female association become proud separatists, desiring everything for their personal gratification and that of their lady friends. They become greedy misers full of anxiety and envy. Such unfortunate persons mistake the flowery statements of the Vedas to be the highest perfection of life. The word Agni Mukha, bewildered by fire, indicates that such persons consider very fire sacrifices awarding material benefit to be the highest religious truth, and thus they merge into ignorance. Fire produces smoke which obscures one's vision. Similarly, the path of fruitive fire sacrifices is cloudy and obscure without clear understanding of the spirit soul. The Lord here clearly states that fruitive religionists cannot understand their actual spiritual identity, nor do they realize the genuine shelter of the spirit soul in the kingdom of God. Lord Krishna states in Bhagavad Gita 15:15, Vedascha Sairai Aham Eva Vedya. All Vedic knowledge is actually meant to lead one to pure love of God. Lord Krishna is certainly the absolute truth, and to love Him is the ultimate purpose of our existence. The Vedic knowledge patiently tries to bring the conditioned soul to this perfection of pure Krishna consciousness. Kamina Kripana Lupha Pushpeshu Paludaya Agni-mukha Dhumatanta Lokam Na Vidanti Te. Those who are full of lust, avarice, and greed mistake mere flowers to be the actual fruit of life. Bewildered by the glare of fire and suffocated by its smoke, they cannot recognize their own true identity. So this is Lord Krishna explaining the Vedic path to Uddhava, and he condemns those who are bewildered by the fruitive results of Vedic sacrifice. And he said that these are not the real fruits, these are just flowers of the Vedas, but they become so bewildered by them that they take these flowers to be the fruits. Something similar to someone coming to the fruit tree and eating flowers instead of fruits of the tree and thinking that this is the ultimate perfection. And of course it doesn't bring any satisfaction, and therefore they continue to be affected by greed, lust, and other anarthas, other unwanted qualities in the heart. And therefore the main idea of the Vedas is to develop not just our relationship with the Supreme, but our love for Him. That's why love of God is defined as the Panchama Purushartha, the fifth and the topmost wealth or attainment in human life beyond Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. And I think it is very important in this chapter for us to recognize that when Lord Krishna is condemning Vedic followers, he is not condemning Vedic culture as such. He's just condemning abuse and misuse of that, which unfortunately always happen in history. And it is like knife. Knife can be used for good purposes. No one can cook without, knife. You cannot really make any preparations without the use of knife in the kitchen. So knife can be used perfectly in Krishna services, but we can understand that in the hands of a criminal, knife can be used for nefarious purposes. So in the same way, the Vedic knowledge in the hands of the people who are affected by lust, greed and anger turns into something horrible. And we can see so many examples in Vedic scriptures that there were Vedic demons. For example, if you read in the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the preaching of Hiranyakashipu, which he did after the killing of Hiranyaksha, it's amazing. It's so perfect that even Srila Prabhupada gives very positive purports, saying that yes, he is right. Hiranyakashipu is right, because yes, he was quoting Vedas, but the purpose he wanted to achieve was very materialistic. The means were correct, but the purpose was wrong. And that's why he is demon. At the same time, we can see that Krishna is before the Govardhana Puja, he is using karma mimamsa, very materialistic philosophy, preaching to Nanda Maharaj and everyone else to help them to worship him. So demons are using pure spiritual philosophy to achieve the demoniac purposes. These examples are given in Bhagavatam. And Krishna is using very materialistic philosophy, karma mimamsa, to encourage Brajabasis to worship him. So it's actually by the end result, or palena parichiyate, how we should understand whether if someone is doing the right or wrong thing, and what's the ultimate result, that is love of God. And how can we understand that someone actually develops love of God? Love of God manifests in compassion towards those who are bereft of love of God. And that's why we can see in the example of Srila Prabhupada that he was already situated in the topmost perfection. He renounced the world and he lived in Vrindavan, but then he left Vrindavan and went all the way to the United States, risking his own life and putting up with horrible, even we who were not born in Vedic culture would hardly imagine ourselves living in the house of meat eaters, and many of you who were born in this country, you know that many people, they don't even take their shoes off, street shoes off when they walk around the house, and some people even sleep with their boots on, right? And Srila Prabhupada had to tolerate all this, keeping his boga for offering Krishna in a meat-filled refrigerator and tolerating horrible filth in the house, and people were coming to him asking questions with a lit cigarette in their mouth and blowing the smoke in the air in presence of Srila Prabhupada, just for courtesy's sake. They were asking, Swamiji, is it okay I'm smoking? And what Prabhupada had to say, he said, think nothing of it, right? Because he realized, what can he do? Just tolerate. So Prabhupada literally went through hell, not only from heaven, but from divine abode of the Supreme Lord, Vrindavan. He went all the way into hellish circumstance, which was in this country at the time. Now it's actually improving under the influence of spiritual energy and by the grace of Srila Prabhupada. So many people embracing in this country pure lifestyle. They have interest towards yoga, spiritual development, etc., etc. But when Srila Prabhupada came here, there was nothing like that. And he had to tolerate all this. And why did he do that? Just because he loved Krishna. And love of Krishna manifests in unlimited compassion towards the conditioned souls. And so we can understand by this particular symptom if someone is actually following properly the Vedic culture, whether one's compassion, one's kindness towards other living beings is developing. But if someone manifests other qualities, very unfortunate qualities, such as those described in the 16th chapter, 4th verse of Bhagavad Gita, Dhampada Manascha Krodha Rushnavacha, pride, arrogance, deceit, anger, and ignorance, etc. We can understand that even though one might be following Vedic culture or even Krishna conscious processes, then obviously something went wrong along the line. So this is how we can understand if someone is actually following the Vedic path, Krishna's teachings, or not. Alright, so Hare Krishna. If anyone wants to add or subtract, or yes, I'm over to do we have a microphone for the benefit of online listeners? Thank you for coming in person. That's a great honor for me. It goes to all of you, especially such a senior most leader.
Well, we thank you for coming. We really appreciate your doing the association. You were talking about tolerance and compassion and procurability, for example, to the qualified. And I was thinking about, of course, the first place you stayed in Bhakti, Pennsylvania, the outer walls. You mentioned so much you had to tolerate, but then the compassion part is the great effect you had on them. Recently, a couple of years ago, during the 50th anniversary, we saw this, that Sally Agarwal, the older imperial lady now, came in with the devotees invited her. She started moving out of some of these folks too. And she had the greatest appreciation, even of Krishna. So
by his love. Because if we love the Supreme Lord, we love everybody. Like someone was asking Srila Prabhupada, how come that everybody loves you? And Prabhupada said, it's very simple, because I love everybody. So that's a very clear symptom that one develops love of God. That one becomes lovable. Thank you, Guru. Yes.
Very nice. So in this chapter, I come to appreciate the Lord's erudite speaker. He makes a lot of nice comparisons. Even in this verse here, he says one's taken the flower to be the fruit, or the smoke to be the fire. See, also he says one takes the parents and obscure it, spread atheistic philosophy, just like one plant lives on the Ganges but gives poisonous fruit. So Krishna is giving so much nice example and speaking, So this, in this verse here, I really, I come to pick this up really, and I feel that he's the greatest of speakers, the best speaker. If you appreciate that way, what he's saying, it's great.
Jai. Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki Jai. Wonderful. Yes.
I just wanted to add that in that first movie that Devasar and Shaka did, they would interview Sally Agarwal, and it was incredible because she was describing Prabhupada and the simple ways that he had, and she was saying how he made prasadam, tiffin, and for everybody in the house, and then she was describing how when her son first started to walk, how pleased he was, and how he clapped his hands, and then she said, and this really struck me, she kind of paused and she said, it was such a wonderful time. And she said something like, I think it was like the most wonderful time in her entire life. So I began that idea of a moment's association with the pure devotee and how that can just completely transport someone really to the spiritual world. And this last weekend there was an educational conference, so one of the topics that we covered was Srila Prabhupada and how to preserve his tradition. Like in every school there should be pictures of Prabhupada, and there should always be in every stationery Prabhupada's title. And also one of the things that came up is that Prabhupada's life should be studied as much as the Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam. There's a book Bhagavatam and a person Bhagavat, because sometimes the way things are put in the Bhagavatam may be one way, for women, let's say, there's so many statements about women, but in actual practice, the way Prabhupada behaved with women, he was so kind, so compassionate, so encouraging, had them giving class, had them giving kirtan. So that idea of really studying how Prabhupada acted, so that's not lost for the future.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you for coming to do.
Thank you.
Can you give me an example of Vedic sacrifices awarding material benefits?
Vedic sacrifices awarding sense gratification. Well, actually, any sacrifice gives material benefits, including chanting of the holy name. Because chanting of the holy name is also sacrifice, and actually this is the topmost sacrifice, for a very simple reason that sacrifice is actually the way to express our gratitude toward the Supreme Lord. do something for his pleasure. And then, as a result, of course, the Supreme Lord becomes pleased. If we highly appreciate someone who have done something for us, then that person becomes pleased, and what's going to happen? That person will do more for us, right? So we are, in this way, through sacrifice, we're appreciating the Supreme Lord, and naturally, all the benefits are coming. It's like in the 10th text of the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains that. He says, Sahayaya prajasusva uravacha prajapati hyanena prasarishastam eshavos vishta kamangu. And so he says, in the beginning of creation, the Lord of all creatures sent forth generations of men and demigods along with sacrifices for Vishnu and blessed them by saying, be thou happy by this yajna sacrifice, because its performance will bestow upon you everything desirable for living happily and achieving liberation. So that was the purpose of the sacrifices. And of course in Kali Yuga, people don't have sufficient means to, invest so much of gold and ghee, etc., and have all this team of very qualified brahmanas to conduct proper Vedic yajna. But since the purpose of the Vedic yajna to please and thank the Supreme Lord, you can do it in a very simple way, just verbally, right? Express your gratitude. This is the Hare Krishna mantra, right? We thank Krishna for everything he has done for us, and we ask him for the opportunity to reciprocate. That's why Srila Prabhupada was saying that the main purpose of the Hare Krishna mantra is asking the Lord for service, right? Why? Because I know the Lord has done so much for me since, the beginning of my life. He gave me this human form of life. He gave me A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z, so many things, right? So what have I done for the Lord? Not much. So please, my dear Lord, let me reciprocate for everything you have done for me through service. That's the Hare Krishna mantra. And so this is why Hare Krishna mantra, even though it's so simple, just 3 words in different combination, is considered to be the topmost yajna, because we're using the name of the Lord. And if you address someone by the name, that's the most intimate. That creates very close bond of relationship. And that's why any yajna is giving benefits, including chanting of Hare Krishna mantra. How many of you noticed that since you started chanting Hare Krishna mantra, there are so many benefits coming? So any yajna gives benefits, but then we should be very, very careful not to do that for the benefit's sake, because if we do it for the benefit's sake, the benefits will come and that's it. Our whole motivation will be finished right there. And we'll start enjoying the benefits, forgetting about the one who is the source of benefits. And so that's why devotee's attitude is reinvest, right? Whatever benefits are coming, let me reinvest in Krishna's business. Let me, use those benefits to serve Krishna better. And for myself, just keep the bare minimum to keep my body and soul together. That's the attitude of a Vaishnava, as shown again by Srila Prabhupada's wonderful example, that even though Srila Prabhupada became a multi-billionaire, literally, by the end of his life, and the prediction was fulfilled, that he would become the richest man, but his lifestyle never changed. He remained as simple in his lifestyle as he was always, even at the time when he hardly had any money. Right? So that's the example. Krishna gives so much, but then we don't take it for ourselves, we use it for Krishna. And actually when we chant, instead of for yajna, instead of thinking of the benefits, we express our gratitude. That our service should be the expression of our gratitude for everything we have already done. Right?
says that he was 15 years old, and he remembers Srila Prabhupada, he was in his 30s. And Srila Prabhupada would always walk with him when he was doing japa to the Victoria Memorial. Every day he would walk around that place doing japa. And he was preaching to him and telling him all the things that were about to happen, how his spiritual master gave him the order, how he was, eager to come, but he didn't have the money yet. So I was just realizing, Srila Prabhupada was in his 30s. He was already, planning. Sometimes we remember Prabhupada, when he came to America, he was in his 70s, or all that he did, but actually he was a young man. He was in his 30s already praying to Krishna and working in coming, so that was like, it really, touched my heart that like my sons, they're in the 30s. Like, wow, Srila Prabhupada, he was so young already, follow, having the order of his Guru in his heart and working for it, so that's so magnanimous, so I just want to share that, we read yesterday in Orlando Temple.
Thank you, yes. Prabhu is speaking about the book by Bula Prakriti Mataji. So Prabhupada, the friend of all, and those who haven't read this book yet, highly recommend it. Very amazing book with many impressive stories about Srila Prabhupada, collected from the variety of resources from all over the world.
This is more of a practical question. As you know, we have a very nice part of our community here, Russian devotees. And I wonder if you'll, while you're here, you have some opportunity to give classes in Russian.
To give classes in Russian?
Yes.
Yeah, this is what we're doing. Even though I'm here just for 3 days, but we have 2 classes in the evening for Russian devotees, and then 1 in English.
Thank you so much for doing that.
Huh?
Thank you for doing that.
Thank you, Guru. Thank you for encouraging us. Mataji.
Maharaj, I was wondering if, it seems that you answered all the questions, but I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit maybe about yourself and teaching across the ocean. What's going on, the troubles or the struggles or the benefits or the explosion or how everything's going.
About Russia, or
Russia or wherever you travel across the ocean.
Bhagavatam is not really meant for self-aggrandizement. And in one sense, I think I kind of share certain things before here, but yeah, the early days of Russia are very interesting in terms of establishing Krishna consciousness, and many devotees know by reading books and listening from other devotees how hard it was. I was not so much part of that. I was never imprisoned for Krishna consciousness in the same way as many other Russian devotees. Just happened a couple of times that we've done Harinams and police attacked us and beat us up a couple of times and arrested, brought to the police station, but nothing major in that sense. Actually, it was an interesting experience that when police attacked us, and this was actually right because the regulatory police forces, they couldn't stop us because devotees were so expert in protecting each other. They were not allowing any devotee to be arrested. And then they decided, okay, these guys are too strong, so they brought riot police dancing and everything, and suddenly, I see the devotees, falling left and right, and police beating the devotees. They would beat someone until one falls, and then grab one and bring him to the bus. And I was thinking, what's going on, what to do? And then I saw that police got on me also, they started beating me. And so they grabbed me and threw me on the bus. And I was sitting there, observing what's going on from the window of the bus. And I was thinking, this is a little strange because I was beaten pretty heavily, but I didn't feel any pain whatsoever. As if I was just watching a movie or something. And I examined myself, there were no bruises or scratches, not a single damage on my body. I was thinking, this is strange. And then I was asking other devotees, were you beaten? Yes. Did you feel any pain? No. Any damage? No. Not a single person on the bus. I don't know how that happened. But these kind of things were pretty common in those days in Russia. So, so many proofs that Krishna is actually protecting his devotees. And therefore, if you ask all those devotees who went through all these hardships, they would tell the same thing. These were the best days. When they were in jail, when they were persecuted, etc. These were the best days because they could think of Krishna day and night. They were so focused on Krishna. The level of surrender was actually 100%. And this was the biggest inspiration for me to join the community, because the level of love and care and bond of friendship with each other devotees had was mind-blowing. I saw that these people are ready to die for each other 100 times if needed. And naturally, this was created by all this external pressure, because really devotees had no one in the whole world except Krishna and each other, right, to rely on. And so in one sense we can understand why he could be praised for troubles, because troubles create very high level of Krishna consciousness. And so Russian devotees actually had that first-hand experience. Of course, in other countries, devotees had little experience of that, maybe for a short while, but Russian devotees had it for years together. So, surprisingly enough, all of them are appreciative of those kinds of trouble. This is how devotee thinks that the worse is better, because then they can really surrender unto Krishna.
Is it still like that now?
Well, at the moment, it is, we kind of not prosecuted by the government so much, even though they restricted our activities due to, under the pretext of terrorist threat. But now we have anti-cult guys who are very vicious and very crooked also, and they try to destroy the movement. And unfortunately, it appears like they are using, some ex-devotees to, kind of try and destroy the movement from within. So there is a lot of anti-cult, similar to the programmers' propaganda, which was here. So very similar thing, which is happening now in Russia. It's, in a sense, it's a harder challenge to overcome, because it is their are using insiders to try to, break the unity among the devotees by, throwing tons of criticism, etc., at every single leader in the movement, and bringing up all kinds of things.
So I guess we can pray that these things stop, these leaders stop.
Can you please speak louder?
I say I guess we can pray that these kind of activities stop. The devotees all over the world can pray that these kind of stuff stop.
Yeah. Somehow we believe it's all Krishna's mercy, whatever's happening, because not even a blade of grass moves without the sanction of the Lord. So, surprisingly enough, all the leaders are unanimous, but it's actually a good thing that it helps to make the movement stronger and more healthy. Yes.
I'm just wondering, because that's something I see going on in America as well, that problem of people that maybe are in the movement or were in the movement criticizing the leaders a lot and creating a lot of disunity amongst the devotees. And I see it really hurting a lot of devotees, both young and old, and really hurting their bhakti. So how are you dealing with that in Russia?
Well, Russian leaders recognize that, we cannot really do anything about it specifically. And Prabhupada also suggested that the best way to deal with envious people, because it's coming from envy, right, is just to ignore, neglect. He uses the word apeksha. Apeksha means neglect. That's explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita in connection to initiation of Rupa and Sanatana Swami and how all the devotees were happy for them. And Prabhupada explained in the purport that some people might pose to be devotees, might be dressed as devotees, might even speak like devotees, but if they are envious and critical, they are not real devotees. They are just, materialistic pretenders in the guise of the devotees, because real devotee can never be envious or jealous of other devotee success. And that's why the best way to deal with them is just ignore or neglect them. But because they throw so much of the dirt on us, so the best way to counteract it is to promote positive information about Krishna consciousness. And so this is what the leadership decided to do. That because, somehow we are not really actively promoting ourselves on the internet, and the only news people come across on the net is the bad news about us. So just to balance it out, devotees have decided to put some positive information, right? Because if it's all, like very loud minority creating the impression that, there are so many bad things in the movement and nobody knows about good things, not about the good news.
Just to add a little more to this topic, do you feel that because Russia throughout its history always had a lot of opposition from the government in India, do you feel that there's a very special strong bond between among the devotees, and you feel they are very serious maybe because of that? Just wondering.
In Russia? Yeah, it's very interesting. Looks like Krishna is arranging things for purpose, because among the devotees. But now, some people try to destroy it from inside. And of course, Prabhupada said no one can destroy this movement from outside, but from inside it is possible. And so, these words of Srila Prabhupada are known not only to us, they're also known to our enemies. So our enemies also know how to do it. And so they're trying very, very hard now to destroy this movement from inside. But the devotees are feeling, because they are attacking money and prestige and position, right? They say, oh, these people have position, they should not have this position. Oh, these people have so much money, they shouldn't have all this money. Oh, these people are famous, they should not be very famous. We should, blaspheme them so that to decrease their fame, etc. But then it attacks those people who are attached to money, to position and fame, right? And so it actually works as purification. That in Russia we have a proverb that wolves are, nurses of the forest. Wolves are nurses of the forest. Nurses of the forest, yes, because wolves are catching the animals which are very weak and sick, right? That wolves cannot catch strong and healthy animals, right? So this kind of wolves are inside of our movement at the moment. And so they are catching those devotees who are weak and sick, right? But those who are strong, and strong devotees are those who didn't join the movement because they were lacking money or fame or position, right? They joined the movement because they wanted to serve Krishna and his devotees. And so those devotees will stay no matter what. It will not bother them. But all these weak and sick devotees, they will fall away, and actually it will lessen our burden in terms of going forward, because in order to execute Prabhupada's mission, especially the first purpose of ISKCON, and some devotees know that I'm very, very strong on it, that first things first. It's not by chance that Prabhupada put the first purpose of ISKCON first, right? Which is to systematically propagate spiritual knowledge to society at large and check the imbalance of values in life and achieve real unity. Yeah, propagate spiritual knowledge to society at large and teach all people the techniques of spiritual life, and in order to check the imbalance of values in life and achieve real unity and peace in the world, right? Unity and peace in the world. How in the world are we going to do that if we don't have unity and peace amongst ourselves, right? So for that sake, all those people who cannot cooperate, who cannot coexist, they have to leave. And only those solid devotees should stay. And that solid group of devotees can run forward much faster without this burden, unnecessary burden of problematic devotees. So, of course, we want everyone to have Krishna consciousness, but actually Srila Prabhupada was using that analogy. He was saying that during the war, the Red Cross, they were taking care of lightly wounded soldiers first, and they would actually leave aside heavily wounded, right? For two reasons. Because if someone is heavily wounded, it takes a lot of time and effort, and even if you save that person's life, he will not be able to help in the war, right? So for now, we need the best people. For now, we cannot really afford dealing with problematic people, right? After we achieve something, okay, and we have plenty of resources we don't need, we have plenty of manpower, we don't need qualified manpower, right? Then we can take care of the whole world. But for now, we need very strong and solid and positive leaders. Right? That must be true. So in that sense, this situation helps to purify the movement. And also another thing I shared, on Facebook in that regard recently, that I actually feel thankful to those devotees, even though they are so negative and critical about everybody in the movement and everything. They criticize everything. Even, they try to find fault even in the places where fault never been in the first place, right? Just for the sake of criticizing. And they criticize the movement, they criticize leaders, they criticize the society. Then they start fighting amongst each other, and then it goes really, really ugly. And because some devotees were asking, what happened, that they commit so many Vaishnava aparadas, but nothing seems to be happening with them, right? They just carry on. But then just by observing them, I realized that they got the worst reaction already. That they actually lost their mind. They actually went crazy. And I realized that the 10th Bhagavad Gita, right? That Kasham Satatu Yuktanam Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam verse, which says that if someone serves Krishna with love, Krishna gives the intelligence to that devotee. And the opposite is also true. If someone offends the devotees, then Krishna actually takes one's intelligence away and one just goes crazy. And that's the worst thing to happen to people. And I actually said that I'm really thankful to these devotees who are committing so many Vaishnava aparadas, because they're showing the example by their own lives what is happening to those who offend the devotees, that they actually lose their mind, right? And that's it. It's much worse than lose your limb or something, right? Because it's Buddhi Yoga without hand or leg, you can still continue practicing Krishna consciousness, but if someone goes cuckoo, that's it. No chance. And so I was saying that it's really a great example they show you. All of them. And it's scary. It's really scary. And actually to those devotees who have this tendency to criticize and blaspheme, they see what's happening with those guys and they think, oh my God, I don't want to go with that place. So I better check these tendencies of mine. That must be. I think it's off. They might be.
Yes, it is. Those devotees that have fallen into this critical attitude, are they somehow connected with the anti-cult?
Looks like, because they spend so much time on the internet, like it doesn't seem like they work or anything. And Russia is in a very difficult economical situation. And it seems like they're doing the work they're paid for.
So the anti-cult movement is sponsored by the Russian Orthodox Church or by the government?
No idea. We're still researching on that, what's happening. But it's very interesting that something's dodgy is going on there, for sure.
A lot of potential with it turning around to the internet. Like Swami Rasayana Sagar, he did a video, a 4-minute video that had 22 million views.
Yeah.
So it could be very powerful in a positive way.
Yeah, this is what the leaders realize, that we have to put out positive information. God will lead you.
Thank you so much, Mamash, for
Thank you.
like the explanation and everything. The last thing what I hear was the devotees who making uncomfortable other devotees. It gives pain in the heart. And also those devotees they go to
another warning for us that no matter how much we did, we still have to be very careful. Minus spares nobody. And that's very good example. One time I saw the picture of a sinking ship, and it said that beware that the only purpose of your life would be to serve the great warning for other people. We don't want this happen to our Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada warned us many, many times. He was actually saying that the biggest problem of us, white people, Western people, is that we're not afraid of Maya. Right? So, and all these examples, they show us how much we have to be afraid of Maya. And we can see, the wonderful example of our Indian devotees, because I can see that mostly Indian devotees, they follow the culture of respect, humility, gratitude, apparently because they have much greater hero than us. So that's something you can learn from them. Alright. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Bhakti Rasayana ki jai, Samaveta Bhakti ki jai, Jai Guru Premanande. And I have some Maha Prasadam from Giriraj, if anyone's interested.